Hello again everyone, and welcome to the final video in this series of videos on conspiracy theories. So at the end of video 3, I said that Britain and America share one common denominator along with the 6 previous world powers, namely Egypt, Assyria, Babylon, Medo-Persia, Greece, Rome. That common denominator is that they are all downright evil. We read at Revelation 13:11-13 that Britain and America are described as a two-horned wild beast, speaking as a dragon. Now that should be enough to tell us, shouldn't it? Their ruler, Satan, is described as a dragon. Let's just remind ourselves of that. And that's at Revelation 12 and verse 7. So that's Revelation 12 in verse 7. Says there, "And war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels battled with the dragon, and the dragon and its angels battled." So this figurative two-horned wild beast is made up of two coexisting, independent but cooperating political powers. It has two horns like a lamb, giving the persona that they are mild and inoffensive, with an enlightened form of government to which all the world should turn. But it speaks as a dragon in that it uses pressure, threats, and outright violence whenever its version of rulership is not accepted. It has promoted nationalistic divisions and hatred. Britain and America claim to have vanquished the forces of evil, for example, in the 2 world wars. But as the JFK to 9/11 Everything is a Rich Man's Trick documentary reveals, both world wars and beyond was an American business run by robber barons. Please watch it and see that for yourself. The United States of America was founded on guns and whiskey. Its very foundation was on sand from its outset. They didn't inherit it, they stole it from the Mexicans and Red Indians. They love war. The nation is just over 200 years old, and they average a war every 20 years. They love it. Why? Because they're good at it. Who's the real owners of America? The late American comedian George Carlin put it in a nutshell when he said, "The real owners, the big wealthy business interests that control things and make all the important decisions, forget the politicians. They're put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control all the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, Congress, State House, and the city halls. They've got the judges in their back pockets, and they own all the big media companies. So they control just about all of the news and the information you get to hear. They've got you by the balls. They spend billions of dollars every year lobbying to get what they want, and what they want is more for themselves and less for everybody else. What they don't want, and this is similar to the governing body of Jehovah's Witnesses, is a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking, just like the Bereans in the Bible at Acts 17:11. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. That's against their interests. They don't want people smart enough to sit around their kitchen figuring out how badly they're getting shafted by a system that threw them overboard decades ago. They don't want that. You know what they want? Obedient workers. People who are just smart enough to run the machines and do the paperwork, and just dumb enough to passively accept all these increasingly crummier jobs with the lower pay, the longer hours, the reduced benefits, the end of overtime. The owners of this country know the truth. It's called the American dream, because you have to be asleep to believe it. These so-called elites have actually told America and the rest of the world what their ultimate objective is. In Elbert County, Georgia, in America, a granite monument was erected in 1980 and stood until 2022. It's called the Georgia Guidestones. It was 19 foot tall and made from 6 granite slabs, weighing a total of 237,746 pounds. That's over 17 tons per slab each. Bob the Builder didn't do it. On the slabs are inscribed 10 inscriptions. The first inscription reads, "Maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature." They're orchestrating the biggest genocide in human history. America's ally Britain's rise to power was gradual. During the 16th century, Britain became a strong maritime nation, able to extend its empire around the world. Examples of their skullduggery, and there's many, was the founder of the Church of England was Henry VIII. Well, he was an adulterer and a murderer. The very foundation of the Church of England is on sand. Revered men such as Sir Francis Drake and Sir Walter Raleigh were slavers. Queen Elizabeth I's advisor was John Dee, who among other things was an occultist. Bringing it up to now, the British government are getting more and more totalitarian by the week. The times that we're living in are dire. The only solution is divine intervention, namely Armageddon, which will destroy the wicked, abyss Satan and the demons for 1,000 years, end human governments, and pave the way for this planet to be restored back to the way it was in Eden before Adam's sin, a paradise. Jesus likened these days to the days of Noah. Let's consider these similarities at Matthew 24 and verse 39. That's Matthew 24. Sorry, we'll read from verse 36 to 39, okay? So it reads there, it says, "Concerning that day and hour, nobody knows, neither the angels of the heavens nor the Son, but only the Father. For just as the days of Noah were, so the presence of the Son of Man will be. For as they were in those days before the flood, eating and drinking, men marrying and women being given in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark. And they took no note until the flood came and swept them all away. So the presence of the Son of Man will be." The flood of Noah's day was a conspiracy theory until the water canopy collapsed. Thank you for watching. All the very best. Bye.